Hi everyone, hope you're having a great day. So today I'm going to be planting some shallots. So I planted some last year and they did really well. I actually planted store-bought shallots, but this time I picked these up from a local nursery. So shallots are actually a form of a multiplier onion, and they taste between garlic and onion, very mild but delicious. And also, if you leave them in the ground, they will come back as perennials. So they are, I think, a great crop to plant, especially if you have a perennial or permaculture garden. Kind of similar to the Egyptian walking onions that we grow, which are also multiplier onions, and they regenerate and come back every year and are very cold hardy. So when you plant shallots, you want to plant them as early as possible in the springtime, even better in the fall time. You can plant them right after your first fall frost, and they'll be one of the first plants to sprout in the springtime, providing you with some greens. So it's already May, and that's okay. And I'll go ahead and plant them today. I wish that I had planted them earlier, about a month ago or so. Usually you want to plant them 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. But they will mature in about 90 days depending on variety. This one is a red variety. It didn't really state the actual name of this particular one. So let's go ahead and plant them in this raised bed, and I'll show you how to do it. So this area is kind of small, so I'll be able to fit 2 short rows, and you want to space out the shallots about 4 inches apart. Shallots are from the onion family Allium, so they are actually a great companion for your other plants such as strawberries and lettuce. They will help repel aphids. So when you plant your shallot, you want to bury it about 3/4 of the way, about right there, so barely covering it, and the rest is going to be sticking out. So I'll just stick it in just like that. Just like so, and just press around it, so you're just leaving the top exposed, just like that. And each bulb will multiply, and you can get between 4 to a dozen smaller bulbs from this one shallot. Make sure that your soil is loamy, loose, and rich in organic matter. So we've already amended this bed with some compost and worm castings. One more over here. My rows are much closer together since I'm planting in a limited space. Proper spacing for each shallot bulb should be 6 inches apart in rows 12 inches apart. We'll give it some water. So just make sure to keep the soil moderately moist. You don't want to overwater and saturate because it'll cause the bulbs to rot. Also, avoid planting shallots with any legumes such as peas and beans, and that goes the same for onions and garlic. They will fight for nutrients. So I'm going to have to find another place for the rest of the bulbs. I have about 24 more, but stay tuned for updates. I'll be including them in the upcoming spring garden tour, which I haven't gotten around to, but I hope that you enjoyed the spring tour of the flower beds and the shade garden. So I hope that you all find this video helpful, and let me know if you're growing shallots. And by the way, shallots are hardy between zones 2 to 10, so they can be grown in those zones, but also that depends on the variety. So make sure that you do some research on the variety that you decide to plant. So just to circle back, each bulb will yield you 4 to 12 bulbs or smaller bulbs. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. Have a great day and happy gardening.